my job is that I go out to schools mostly during the school season, and then distance learning is where I live telecast to schools right from the zoo, so we can reach schools that can't actually come to us farther away. So that's my job, and a lot I do is Wild Aware, where we teach people and kids about what lives here and then how to be safe around them.
Interesting. Now, I notice you've got some containers over there.
We sure do. We did bring 2 snakes to show you guys.
I thought they were donuts.
Oh, no donuts for us today. I wouldn't eat these guys either.
Yeah, but can they eat me?
They cannot. No, definitely not. They are way too small.
Way too small.
Way too small.
You know, we're going to be talking a lot about the situation that we're in. Is there something that has happened this year in the state of Utah? Is there an anomaly of some kind? Or is this just a regular old year and people just happen to be noticing more snakes?
People might just be noticing them more. I don't know if there's any more than usual right now than there usually is, but it's the right season for them. They've come out of their winter hibernation. They're ready to eat all the food that they need, and they're just looking for mice and other things to eat, and they like it. They like where people like to be too, on the trails.
Really?
Yeah.
That's good to know, right? And, you know, as Utah, too, expands into the foothills, I'm seeing it all over the place. I look when I drive down to Eureka, the west side of Utah Lake, and I look at all of the homes. I look at all of the habitation now for human beings that used to be habitation for so many other interesting creatures. Is that a big factor?
It absolutely is. Utah's population is growing exponentially. We're seeing a lot of people, and these people are enjoying what Utah has to offer for them. We have great mountains and lakes and places to hike and see, so they're enjoying that. And then seeing the animals that live there naturally. I think Utah's a great place to be because we have a lot of wild places and wild things to see. I love going out and seeing these kinds of things that people might be seeing on their hikes.
Are there places that you're getting more reports from? Maybe not than usual, but at this time of year, where do you usually get reports of people sighting them? I mentioned that my daughter saw a great big old fat, I was going to say nasty, but I'm sure he was beautiful.
Beautiful snake, I'm sure.
And how do I know if a rattlesnake is male or female? But can you tell?
You can't tell externally, but in all snake species, females are going to be larger than males by about 1/3. So the bigger, but it's not really any easy way to tell unless you're a herpetologist or a vet.
Well, this was a big, fat, and sassy rattlesnake.
Could have been a girl, I bet then.
Sitting there right in the middle of the Neff Canyon Trail and just rattling away and wouldn't move.
Yeah, so they have specific habitats they like to live in, especially up on the foothills by the mountain. You're not going to find them like in the middle of the valley too much unless they really don't have food up here. So they're going to stay up on the foothill. Right here at our zoo, we do see them around here, and we're wary of them. We know they're around. So if they are being on the foothills, especially hiking up here, that's when you're going to see them more. Once you get past the tree line, you're not going to see too much. So if you get really high up in the mountains where it's a lot cooler, you're not going to see too many snakes.
This was years ago. I was out doing a little bottle hunting over in the old ghost town of Silver City, and my mom was with me. This was quite a while ago, and I remember my mom let out a yelp. It looked pretty ominous, but it had no rattles or anything else, and it was as anxious to get away from her as she was to get away from it. How many of the snakes are actually something that we need to be concerned about? So
in Utah, we have 31 species of snake that live here, and of them, 7 are venomous, and we only have rattlesnakes here. So there are 7 species, but was she here in the Utah Valley, or up in the Salt Lake Valley?
This was in Silver City, the old Silver City site in Juab County.
So it could have been a few different snakes, but right here, we're going to see mostly Great Basin rattlesnakes, which are going to be the biggest rattlesnake you get here, and of them, the most reluctant to bite as well. But since there was no rattle on it, I'm guessing it was probably a Great Basin gopher snake, which we did bring a Great Basin gopher snake that we'll bring out in a minute. They're the largest kind of snake you can see here in Utah, and they have a great Halloween trick, so to say. They pretend to be a rattlesnake.
They pretend to be a rattlesnake.
They sure do.
Oh, that's warm and fuzzy. We have so much more to talk about. Tawny Sutherland will be with us. We're going to talk with others here at Hogle Zoo. We'll be talking with a genuine rattlesnake wrangler, I understand.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Since we have the cattle drive going up on I-84 right now, it only makes sense. It is 10:58 here at KSL.